So Highland Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Clayton from Reverse Pathogen.
There are some questions today about the upcoming album, Accidentally Fetishized. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
I didn't really check.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Fair way to go through it, yeah.
Well, I looked for you, and the people seem excited.
Yes.
And the album rocks.
Album fucks. It's great.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, it's not out yet, but the first song is out.
Yeah, hell yeah. We got the advance, so we actually had the chance to listen to everything start to finish. Yeah.
Got you. That's how you got it. I was like, I don't think it's out yet. I don't know.
No. That's why I clarified, because I was like, no. We got the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of meaning behind it. I think like music now and tends to be overly sexualized, or like a lot of people are trying to like sell sex. You know, I'm getting older, fatter, and just, you know, as I get less sexy as I get older, the more I kind of like see it. And, you know, they dress up, you know, women as like 15-year-olds, you know, if they're even my age. If they're, you know, I'm 30, they might dress up somebody like they're 15. It's like kind of creepy, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's kind of, but then, so it's kind of like almost like music got accidentally fetishized, you know, to where people think it's like this big, sexy, glamorous thing, but it's a lot more of a grind and like a lot less like sexy and a lot more like just grimy and just grinding stuff out, you know, which is just like, I don't think a lot of people like are prepared for it. That's why you see a lot of like quasi influencer artists that struggle a lot when they get into like the limelight or get into whatever, because it's like they don't really expect it to be this hard, you know. So if you don't really have a passion for it, it's just, you know, you're gonna be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I get that, because I mean, how I kind of get over that is I constantly create different stuff all the time, so I just don't feel like I'm ever doing the same thing over and over again. But, you know, there's a lot of people who are like pinned down to a sound or pinned down to a certain thing, and they just kind of have to like roll with that for like the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look or whatever.
Yeah. And any meaning behind the cover art?
Well, the cover art is very old. And the meaning behind that was I had originally had a different idea for the cover. And then I kind of got to this point where I was like, my original idea didn't feel that original. And then I would just had this memory of, I shot this cover like 7 years back I had a solo career before for my solo artist career. And I was like, that cover would kind of work for this thing, because it is kind of like, you know, if it's talking about how a genre gets, you know, overly sexualized or whatever, or just anything, it's like kind of selling that. Nothing sells sex more than that kind of a cover. So it's kind of like poking fun at itself. It's meant to be almost ironic. Just like the last cover for the last album, Attention is New Heroin, I was like literally for months trying to figure out how it to be a mirror. So I was like obsessed with it being a mirror. I'm like, it needs to be reflective on a phone. It needs to be reflective on a phone. The only way we could figure out to be reflective on a phone was to make it like black. But then obviously like we didn't, because of the Black album, we couldn't just make the whole cover black. So we're like, okay, we need to make it like a rim of a mirror, or else we're biting somebody else that, you know, is a very large band. So I just didn't want to do that. So it was supposed to be like reflective. So when you looked at it, it's like Attention is New Heroin, but you're seeing yourself, you know? So that was kind of like the goal of it. I don't know if it really did that, or people really got that, or they're just like, oh, this is just a lazy cover. So this one is, so all the covers kind of are supposed to provoke thought, I guess, in a sense. But they sometimes do or sometimes don't. And it just looks good. It kind of reminds me of the name slipping me of the one Hendrix album, the cover that he really hated. The one that you guys might know, but it's just like names slipping me for some reason.
It's all good.
There you go.
But like, especially the colors, we brought in a lot of plants and everything, and it was it's all like, none of it's like, I think like a few of the birds are like put in there, but this cover was done before like AI or anything was like really big, so it's very like organic, you know. So I think that was the best thing about it. But yeah, it it was cool. Everybody on the cover is nude, including myself, which I think was a big important thing as an artist, because I like to get myself out of my comfort zone. So I was like, I knew that, okay, I'm making all these models pose nude. If I'm gonna pose in like underwear or like some sort of thing that looks like I'm nude, but I'm not, and that's almost like hypocritical. So I'm like, well, I can't do that. And then I think as an artist, you expose yourself, you put yourself out there every day, and people have this such fear of like public nudity or, oh my God, this that. So it's like the greatest thing is, even though this is the way we're born, it's the way we die. I mean, like, they might put clothes on you when you die, but that's just gonna, I don't know, maybe the clothes last longer than a body decomposing. I'm not sure, but it's just, you're born naked. So I was thinking, like, if I can't be comfortable with the way I was born, then I can't be comfortable at all. So I'm like, well, as an artist, you put yourself out there every day. So I got to be comfortable this way. So I just was like, you know what, if I go out there like that, there's going to be nothing that I'm going to fear. Putting out a certain song, any kind of hate, any kind of thing, none of that stuff's going to bother me, because I've already done something so drastic that people wouldn't do, as far as exposing myself in a way that, people would feel very uncomfortable doing, which I think is important, because it just gets that out the way, and you're just like, everything else from there seemed easy, like gliding.
Gotcha.
That makes a ton of sense.
So it seems with this record and your last record, at least cover art wise and title wise, it is commentary. It's commentating on, parts of society, and with this one, the music industry, and how the music industry has been accidentally fetishized. So is the record itself a concept record tackling that topic, or was it just a title for the record that kind of grabbed you in that moment?
I mean, I knew what it was going to be called when I was making it, or like right off the bat, I'll know right from one song, like, okay, this is what this whole album is going to be, because I make this stuff. I'm not sure exactly how long this one took, but I know the first album was 7 days. I want to say this one was around 10 or something.
Damn.
So none of this is like really like, oh, let me dive into this super deeply. Now the mixing takes a while, because I'm kind of particular about that. I don't really like to use a lot of like vocal correction and stuff. Not saying I don't, because I think everybody uses some Melodyne or autotune here and there, but I try to use as little as possible on stuff. I just hate it. Like, I feel like I can like hear the frequency, and it just like it just drains the fuck out of me. I don't know. It's like, for some reason, especially with like guitars, and you're like hearing this stuff, and that's no disrespect to people who use it. Like, people have used it and make it work, but it doesn't work for me in my music. It just doesn't feel good. I don't feel good when I do it. I'm like, I feel like it just is like going against what I'm trying to accomplish, especially the sound, or, it just takes away from, like, it feels like if I were to crank up autotune all the way, or turn it up all the way, or vocal and pitch correct, it feels like it almost fights the organicism of the using guitars and natural drums and all that stuff. It feels like it fights against the guitar itself, to where it's like, oh wait, now let me turn up the guitar, okay, now let me turn up the vocals, now let me do this. Yeah, you're just constantly trying to level it, and it doesn't sound right. It would never sound right. And I think a lot of songs that use a lot of pitch correction, like, the guitars just sound so quiet, and I'm just like, all right. I get like older songs when they were recording and they can only have like 16 tracks or whatever, and they were all using tape and stuff, having stuff like quiet. But like, in the modern day and age, like, we can make stuff as loud as we want,
Yeah,
of course, yeah. Why
absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
It's easy. Like, writing songs is easy. I write songs all the time. It's like, it's easy. It's the easiest thing. I mean, the writing of songs is the easiest thing. Mixing is way harder. Writing is like, the song, you just hear it in your head, and then you just try to get it down as fast as possible.
Yeah. So you said, how long did this record take you to make? You said the last one was 7 days. Was this one 5, or am I just did I mishear
No,
that?
it wasn't 5. I want to say it was like 10. That's
10.
I don't remember. I know the next album after this was 10, because I know for sure, because I counted. I'm not sure exactly with this one. I feel I'm just gonna say around 10. It might have been less, to be honest. I'm not quite.
So you're the type of writer to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to start writing the record now. You don't typically write like a song a day and then you look up, 5 months later and you have a record done. You sit down and dedicate a
No,
certain amount of time to write?
I mean, I'll work like 12 to 16 hours all those days at least.
Yeah.
And I mean, most of the time, I mean, so like, I know, like, when we were even, one of my managers asked me, "Oh, do you have the lyrics for this album?" And I went back and tried to like find the lyrics, and some of the songs were just like a word that rhymes with each other.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was like really kind of bare bones. Like it just, the writing process is basically like I almost hear the whole song, and then I just try to get it down. So
Yeah.
a lot of the time I won't even pick up a guitar if I'm not even like in a studio or something, because I'm afraid a lot of the time I'll have a whole song and then, it will just be kind of like, you don't want to do that because then it's like, you like to capture it as it's kind of coming out. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does.
Oh, it makes sense. Lightning in a bottle. Yeah.
And I never got how bands or artists took so long to make records. I think they do that, like, I feel like they must have more music and they just like do it for like promotional aspects or something. I'm not sure. Like they just, I don't know, or they just like I don't know what they do with their free time or like what there even is to do anymore. Like I don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if it works for you, fuck yeah, more power to you. That's genuinely, that's really cool to hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what song off the album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
So one song I had I hate programmed drums. I had some programmed drums on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that took the hardest. I played the drums on chopsticks and through, I think it was arcade, or what's the one that's the drum one?
Just like native instrument drums.
Like native instrument drums or something. And I played it with chopsticks. And then we have Josh Freeze on the record drumming.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that one took the longest to figure out how to make those blend together.
Gotcha.
But I didn't want to get rid of the drum loop because it had some sort of like magic there.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be probably the only time I'll ever do that again. I mean, I just hate using inorganic instruments. So I actually hated the record, but then everybody liked the record and was like, "Oh, you got to put this one out." So I'm like, okay, it might be something.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hate it because I hated the guitar I used on it. I hated like the sound of it. I hate that guitar. It's so heavy. And it's just like, it's a heavy instrument to play. And I don't like the sound of it really, but everybody did. So I was like, you know what, I'll put it out. And then, if it doesn't do anything, I can like do the I told you so thing. And I can never have to do that again.
Exactly.
So,
that works. Yeah.
And then a two-part of that question. What was the second part?
Your personal favorite.
Personal favorite. Oh, one of them is a cover from the Blessed Telephone one. That was my favorite because I really like the original song.
Okay.
So that one's my favorite. And I know his first name's Labby, and I can see his last name. I could spell it, but it's like Sifri or something. He's a really great writer. And the original song is just so great that I just was like one of those things. And when I do covers, I like to like make them really different than the song. But that one has to be my personal favorite because I just was obsessed with the original so much. And obviously that one's really different than the original, but it's still, I would definitely say that one's my personal favorite just because I love the original song so much. Mm-hmm. It's hard to like have a personal favorite when you write the songs and like are involved in mixing, involved in all that stuff, because it's like, I don't know, like I just like I'm already
like picking a child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like picking which bug to kill first,
That's definitely a different way to say it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't really like any of them, to be honest. I like them.
Yeah,
but
true.
Then after like you've already done all the work on them, you're just like, I never want to hear this again. But you're gonna have to. I mean, ideally, hopefully I hear it, play it or whatever. But it's just you kind of like over it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does. So how'd the track list for your album come about? Did you write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
That was all done by feel. We had all the tracks. We knew kind of we knew what was going to be the opener for sure. We knew kind of what was going to be the closer for sure. And sorry, my dog was just barking at me because she can see me, so I was like,
No worries.
Just picked the wrong time. We knew it was gonna, and then we just listened to it, me and my engineer, so many times, and like, okay, put this one here, put this one here, put this one here,
Mm-hmm.
and just putting the tracks in a certain order where we're like, all right, what flows the best? Because it's got to flow. It's got to be a listening experience. Even if like you kind of write all the songs, like, you know, like the fifth song you write might be the first song on the album. The first song you write might be the last song on the album. It's like none of, like, I think when you take the approach to writing an album, you know, you kind of like, you're not sure, but I definitely knew when I wrote the first song, like, okay, this has got, I like to begin with some sort of like punch, you know, where it's like, you kind of feel like, okay, boom, like you feel it, you hear it. You're like, either you're going to love it or hate it. That's what I kind of begin with. And then I kind of like to ease into like slower records later on and stuff. Cause those are probably like my least favorite. I like to play most of the stuff like with like a lot of the more guitar stuff that allows me to play guitar more, like more of a fan of like anything with a solo on it usually, which there's not too many guitar solos on here. So that's good. They usually tell me I can't do too many.
Man, never limit yourself with guitar solos.
Need to rip more guitar solos.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like them. I like them for sure. But you know, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I hope it's not like I don't know. I'm just not that well versed in it, but I hope it's not like a dying thing. I just don't hear it like a lot on records. Like, or if I do hear it, it will be like very stereotypical. Like it feels like everybody's kind of trying to recreate like EVH type stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, which I have no problem with. I think like really cool when he did it, but then it's like, it's kind of like, that's like the way like a lot of people play now. Oh, and it's strange to me. I just like to, like, I do everything by feel. Like, I won't know, like, my hands will just start playing it. I'm not thinking about, okay, this is the scale. I'm going into this. I'm going into that. I'm just playing every note by feel. Yeah. So, and then kind of figuring it out, you know, but it's not a lot of this music, even the chord progressions or songs or everything, it's all kind of just like, if it feels good, do it, you know?
Damn straight. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Rebellious, for sure. They gotta be like adjectives, right?
It could just be 3 words. It could be, you know, a small sentence. It could be just descriptive words.
I feel like I did it because you said off the top of my head, rebellious for sure, I guess.
All right.
Fuck yeah, we'll take it.
There
Rebellious for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So can you talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of the album, positive or negative?
Challenging. Yeah. Mixing is always a real bummer. You know, it sucks. You got to listen to the same track over and over again. It's everything's done digitally now, so you can never get that tape sound. And if you're going for any kind of like, see, I like to make something inspired by something old but still new. So if you're going for that kind of old vocal sound, especially with the vocals, it's a real hard battle to get it to sound okay. We're gonna mix this, but we don't want it to sound super high fidelity, which is like kind of the opposite of what mixing usually does, which is takes something and makes it sound, you know, more pristine, where this is almost like taking something, even though it's in a rough version, and somehow cleaning it up while dirtying it back down again. So that's, I think, is the most challenging part, for sure. I think creatively, and then a lot of the songs are just high BPM, so they take a lot out of you as far as like just strumming like that fast. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, that's why I think there's like a few songs where I mentioned like bleeding. It's because I was like bleeding literally all through, like through this whole tape, because I kept
sweat and tears
guitar. And, I was more concerned because I had just got the guitar refinished that I used for a lot of this album. So I didn't want to get like, I didn't know blood, like, I don't know, it was acidic and was going to burn through the paint, something. I had no idea. So I didn't want that. And then I also had bought this new pair of pants that I liked. And pants I got bloody, but this guy showed me a trick to get blood out of the clothing. I don't know how to do that, but he, you know, he showed me. Come on, shut up, bro. But yeah, that's the challenging parts. Obviously, everything being high BPM. But so you kind of, and then just like working so much, and then I have like a ear condition. So as I was making this album, I was really not supposed to be doing anything. I was just supposed to be resting. I wasn't even supposed to be listening to music. I couldn't watch TV, even with the sound on or anything. Like, so all this, everything hurt. Like hearing all the music hurt. But I feel like working every day because I've seen people with like one arm play guitar and stuff. So I was like, well, okay, yeah, like my head hurts and I'm having like these severe headaches and stuff, and I can barely stand and stuff. But it's like, all right, like, you know, I've seen people who have it way worse, and I was like, well, I'm in this position to make music, which is like a dream for most people. So why wouldn't I, you know, the dream's right there, why wouldn't I, you know, dream it, you know? It's like, so it just felt like selfish of me to waste the opportunity of having this time to, you know, make this music and set aside, and just was a good time to make music. So just like, I feel like a lot of artists, I think, might let that pass them by or try to go into like, oh, I'm gonna heal or whatever. But the best thing you can do is, you know, just fight through it, because on the other side of things, you're gonna push yourself further than you ever thought you could go, you know?
Absolutely.
That's straight. It's beautiful. And for this last question, we want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Snack of choice. Well, I can't fly, so we had to do a performance in New York, and I had to go on a bus, like a Sprinter bus.
Yeah.
And go through there, and hopefully no doctor that helps me out sees this, but I think a snack of choice. Well, New York, I like the sour power straws, which are only like a New York thing, I think. But I really try not to eat too much stuff. But one thing that gets me every time, unfortunately, and I think it's got a lot of young people, is those little pouches, those damn pouches. It's not really a snack, but those Zen pouches.
Oh, that's not a snack.
Flavor that you can't find anywhere else, and it's the menthol flavor, and menthol is invigorating. It's amazing. It's one of the most great experiences of life. I think sailors used to take it and stuff. It's like, I just like, when I used to smoke cigarettes, I loved menthol, and it just was it's just like, you just feel like, you know, you're on the top of a mountain with like the wind blowing through your hair. It's amazing, and it's better than a snack. And the menthol, I've noticed, like, I'm in LA right now, you see them and you'll be like, where are they at? You know? And boom, across the country, I was just, every gas station, I was hitting them up. So when we got to New York, I had like over 100 packs of them, and I still have a bunch of them. I haven't run out yet. You know, so, but a snack, that's a good question. There's this random chicken brand that's actually like in gas stations that's good, that's in some parts of the country. I can't remember what it is, but it's like, it's actually not bad. I mean, it sounds weird, like gas station food.
Gas station chicken, yeah.
But it's good. It's very, I mean, it's better than edible. Like, it's better than a lot of other like fast food chains and stuff. Can't remember what it is, but probably that, or really, like I said, the pouches. If I'm New York has a sour power straws, which I don't know how people don't eat those. I mean, that'd be dangerous. I couldn't even be anywhere near those. Like, those are
lock them up. Lock them up.
They're just I don't even know. Those are one of the greatest things. It's really weird because it feels like, I don't know if the factory's over there or if like the rest of the world doesn't care about them, or I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but I haven't seen them really anywhere else. You go to New York, you pass by the little guys in the boxes on the side with all the magazines and stuff, and then boom, they got all the flavors. They got cotton candy, mango, apple, blue raspberry, all these, so many flavors,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's crazy. But you go to LA, you can't find that anywhere.
Yeah.
Weird.
Nowhere to be seen. The hell?
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure who runs the company, but I feel like more people would like them because the
world needs them.
other brand, Sour Punch, they're not good compared to those.
Okay,
Like,
so don't even, yeah.
Don't even touch it.
I mean, I don't even really eat it. Maybe as a child would eat it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like kiddie shit.
Had a child, so I feel like I definitely would eat it. I probably would eat most things. But as an adult, I don't know. I would just more go for the Sour Power straws, I think.
And
but
the Zins, yeah.
the Thins are great. I mean, I don't know if they're bad for you. I'm sure they're terrible for you, but I haven't looked into it. But those are great. I mean,
I think, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're better than like cigarettes because you're not like inhaling, tobacco, tar, all that shit. I think you just put them in your cheek. I don't know exactly how it works. But yeah, no, I feel like that's a great snack lineup. You got your sour and you got your Zin.
And the illegal Zins that are like, they're called different stuff. The ones that are like from like Europe and stuff. Those
I didn't know there were illegal Zins.
Well, I guess they're legal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think everything should be legal, but I don't make the rules that, which is probably good, but I wouldn't know where to start, but
yeah.
They just I probably would just make everything legal, but yeah, I mean the legal ones are even better because like the normal ones go to 3 to 6 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you're there, but and you kind of feel it like 3 you feel to like here, and then 6 you feel to kind of like here.
Okay.
The other ones are like 20, so you feel all the way to your toes.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
like a lot of people like have told me they can't even stand when they take that. And I forget where the guy was from. He was from some Eastern European country. He was driving me that day, and he gave me a couple, and he was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you can still stand while I take one." And yeah, I almost fell down. I stumbled, but I stood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great.
That's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I mean, just the album, Accidentally Fetishized, comes out next month, 16th, which is the month of May. Comes out the month of May. Listen to it if you want. You don't have to. You have free will. But if you want to listen to it, you can. And if you don't like it, that's cool too. Listen to more music. Listen to the old album. The old album's good too. That's it, really. I mean, I wouldn't plug anything else other than the music. That's what.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you, sound. It's been Clayton from Reverse Pathogen, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.